I used to think that waking up with stiff, aching joints was just part of getting older, something you simply had to live with after 50. Until one morning, I discovered that changing just one drink in my morning routine could make my body feel like it had been oiled from the inside out. It was a quiet dawn. The light was soft, the house was still, and as I stood up from bed, I heard that familiar crack from my knees, a reminder that my joints were not what they used to be. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. You're not alone. According to the CDC, nearly 60% of Americans over 50 experience some level of joint stiffness or pain in the morning. Most people blame age. But what's really happening is a slow, silent process, inflammation building up overnight, and sluggish blood flow that leaves your joints dry and creaky by sunrise. And here's where we often make things worse, without even realizing it. We start our mornings with black coffee, sugary pastries, or nothing at all. That quick caffeine hit may wake your mind, but it also feeds inflammation and drains hydration, the exact opposite of what your joints need to move freely. But what if, instead of that routine, you began your day with something that actually heals you? Today, we're diving into 4 powerful morning drinks that can ease joint pain, improve flexibility, and restore your energy, naturally. These aren't fancy supplements or expensive powders. They're simple, proven ingredients that support healthy blood flow and calm inflammation from the moment you wake up. Before we start, I'd love to ask you something. How old are you, and have you been struggling with morning stiffness or joint pain? Share your story in the comments. I read them all, and our team does its best to reply to everyone. Thank you for being here on Senior Health Tips, Healthy Aging. Let's get started. Number 4. Ginger lemon water. The little drink that can save your body. You've probably heard of ginger and lemon 1,000 times before, but most people don't realize how powerful they can be, especially when you put them together first thing in the morning. Let's start with a little science. Ginger contains something called gingerol, a natural compound with anti-inflammatory powers so strong that researchers say it works in a way similar to some common pain relievers. The difference? Ginger does it gently, without hurting your stomach or raising your blood pressure. And lemon, this bright, simple fruit, is packed with vitamin C. That's the key your body needs to make collagen, the protein that keeps your joints cushioned, your skin firm, and your connective tissues strong. When you combine ginger and lemon in warm water, you're basically giving your body a morning tune-up. The warmth helps improve blood flow, relaxes your muscles, wakes up your liver to flush out toxins, and reduces overall inflammation. Think of it like this. After a long night, your joints are like old hinges that haven't moved in hours. They need a little oil. And this warm, golden drink is exactly that. It lubricates you from the inside out. Here's how to make it simple and effective. Heat a cup of water until it's warm, but not boiling, around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Slice 3 thin pieces of fresh ginger, squeeze in half a lemon, and let it steep for 5 minutes. Drink it slowly on an empty stomach before your coffee or breakfast. If your stomach is sensitive, add a teaspoon of honey. It makes it smoother and adds a gentle touch of sweetness. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Can something this simple really make a difference? Let me tell you about Linda. She's 62 and lives in sunny Florida. For years, her mornings started with pain. She would sit at the edge of her bed, bracing herself, waiting for her knees to cooperate. She told me it used to take her almost 10 minutes just to stand up straight. Then one day, a friend recommended she try ginger lemon water every morning. Nothing fancy, no supplements, just this simple mix. 3 weeks later, she noticed something incredible. She could get up without wincing. She started taking short morning walks with her husband again. One day, she turned to him and said, "I can't believe something this small brought back my easy mornings." Stories like Linda's are not rare. Science backs them up, and so do thousands of people who've made this small change. It's not a miracle, it's nature, helping your body do what it's meant to do when you give it the right tools. So if you wake up feeling stiff, slow, or sore, give this warm ginger lemon water a try. It's a gentle start that sets your entire day in motion. And just when you think it can't get any better, wait for what's coming next. Because the next drink on our list brings together two ancient superfoods that combine to create an anti-inflammatory effect twice as powerful. Number 3. Green tea with turmeric, the legendary anti-inflammatory duo. If ginger and lemon water help your body wake up, this next drink takes things to a whole new level. It's green tea with turmeric, a combination so simple yet so powerful that researchers often call it the golden duo for joint health. Let's start with what makes it special. Green tea is loaded with a compound called EGCG. It's a potent antioxidant that helps calm the inflammatory reactions happening deep inside your joints, those little fires that cause stiffness and pain. And then there's turmeric, the bright golden spice that's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine. Its active compound, curcumin, has been proven to reduce inflammatory molecules called cytokines, the same ones that flare up when your joints ache after a long day. But here's a secret most people don't know. Turmeric on its own isn't absorbed very well by your body. That's why you add just a pinch of black pepper. The piperine in black pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo. 2,000%. So when you combine green tea, turmeric, and a touch of black pepper, you're giving your body one of the most natural, effective anti-inflammatory tonics you could ever drink. Science backs it up too. A 2020 study from Johns Hopkins University found that older adults who drank green tea infused with turmeric daily for 6 weeks saw their inflammation markers drop by 28%. 28%. Just from a simple daily habit. Here's how to make it. Brew 1 bag of green tea in hot water. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a tiny pinch of black pepper, and let it steep for 5 to 7 minutes. If you like a smoother taste, add a spoonful of raw honey. It not only balances the flavor but also brings its own antioxidants to the mix. Enjoy it in the morning or mid-morning when you need a lift. It boosts focus, calms inflammation, and gives your joints a gentle dose of relief, without the crash or side effects that come with pain pills or strong coffee. Now let me tell you about Henry. He's 58, a retired engineer who used to rely on painkillers just to get through the day. For years he believed his joint pain was just the price of an active life. But when he started swapping his second cup of coffee for a mug of green tea with turmeric, everything began to change. 2 months later, Henry said something that really stuck with me. Now I can spend the whole morning in the garden without reaching for my pills. That story isn't fiction. It was shared by Dr. Andrew Weil himself, one of the pioneers in integrative medicine, during a segment on natural anti-inflammatory remedies. And stories like Henry's are becoming more common every day, as more people realize how simple habits can change the way their bodies feel and heal. So if your joints have been sending you signals, stiffness, soreness, that deep ache that just won't go away, this golden green brew might be your next best friend. But don't go anywhere just yet. Because the next drink on our list doesn't just reduce inflammation, it helps your joints recover while you sleep. Number 2, Tart Cherry Juice. The sleep drink that heals your joints. If your joints ache and your nights feel too long, this one's for you. Tart Cherry Juice isn't just a refreshing drink. It's nature's gentle medicine for both pain and sleep. Here's why. Tart cherries are packed with anthocyanins, those deep red pigments that give the fruit its color. But they do far more than look pretty. These compounds act like natural pain relievers, reducing inflammation in a way similar to ibuprofen, but without the stomach irritation or side effects. On top of that, Tart cherries contain melatonin. Yes, the very same hormone that your body produces to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. The difference is, this melatonin comes directly from nature, not from a pill. When you drink Tart Cherry Juice in the morning or after light exercise, you're giving your body a double benefit. It soothes sore joints and helps your body recover more efficiently, especially during sleep. Because here's something most people forget. Your joints don't just repair when you move. They heal when you rest. That's when your body rebuilds collagen, rehydrates your cartilage, and resets inflammation levels. There's science to back it up too. Researchers at Michigan State University found that adults who drank just half a cup of Tart Cherry Juice every day reduced their knee pain by 25% after only 3 weeks. 25%. Without a single painkiller. That's remarkable. Here's how to do it right. Pour yourself half a cup of 100% Tart Cherry Juice. No added sugar, no blends. You can drink it as is, or mix it with a bit of warm water if the flavor feels too sharp. Some people enjoy it in the morning for energy, others after a light walk or stretching session to help recovery. The key is consistency. A small glass every day can make a real difference. Now, let me tell you about Robert. He's 70 years old, a retired veteran who'd been battling shoulder pain for nearly a decade. The pain wasn't just in his body. It crept into his nights. He told me, "I used to wake up 3, sometimes 4 times a night. I couldn't find a position that didn't hurt." One morning, his doctor suggested he try Tart Cherry Juice, just half a cup each day. Robert didn't expect much, but within 10 days, something changed. He slept through the night, 6 straight hours without waking up once. And when he got up the next morning, his shoulders didn't scream at him. He smiled and said, "I can't believe such a small drink gave me back both my sleep and my strength." It's amazing how something so simple can touch both your body and your mind. That's the beauty of nature. It doesn't push, it restores. So if your nights have become restless and your mornings stiff, maybe all you need is this deep red glass of calm. A small habit, a quiet change, that could bring you back to peaceful sleep and pain-free mornings. And speaking of energy, we've saved the best for last. Because the final drink on our list doesn't just heal your joints, it wakes up your entire body, boosting circulation, focus, and vitality from the very first sip. Number 1. Collagen Coffee, the cup of youth. You know that first sip of morning coffee, warm, rich, comforting, the moment that wakes you up and makes the day feel possible? Now imagine that same cup not only lifts your mood, but actually helps your joints move easier, your skin feels smoother, and your body feel younger. That's what Collagen Coffee can do. See, after 50, our bodies quietly slow down collagen production. Collagen is the glue that holds us together. In our skin, our tendons, our cartilage, even the lining of our joints. When levels drop, things start to feel different. Your knees may creak when you get up. Your skin feels thinner. Your muscles recover slower. It's not aging, it's biology. That's where collagen peptides come in. These tiny protein molecules are like building blocks your body can actually use to rebuild what's been worn down. Repairing cartilage, supporting ligaments, and reducing the stiffness that sneaks in with time. And when you pair that with coffee, something many of us already love, something special happens. That mild caffeine boost increases blood flow, helping those collagen peptides travel faster where they're needed most. Plus, it sharpens your focus and brings that gentle clarity we all crave in the morning. There's real science behind it too. In 2021, a Mayo Clinic study found that older adults who took collagen daily experienced a 34% reduction in morning stiffness after just 8 weeks. Imagine that. One simple habit making your mornings that much easier. Here's how to make it work for you. brew a cup of black coffee, or decaf if you're watching your blood pressure, and stir in 1 scoop of collagen peptides. That's it. You can make it creamier with almond milk, or add a sprinkle of cinnamon if you love that warm, cozy aroma. Drink it within 30 minutes after waking, ideally after a light breakfast or a small snack. It's simple, it's comforting, and it's powerful. Now let me tell you about Marilyn. She's 65, a retired teacher who used to dread climbing the stairs in her own home. The pain in her knees made every step a challenge. One morning, her daughter handed her a tub of collagen powder and said, "Mom, just mix it with your coffee. Try it for a month." At first, she laughed. "Coffee won't fix my knees," she said, but she tried it anyway. Day after day, she stirred that scoop into her morning cup, and slowly, she started to notice changes. Her steps became lighter, her mornings less stiff. She could walk up those stairs without holding the railing. A month later, she looked at me and said, "I don't just move easier. I feel alive again." That cup of coffee became more than a drink to her. It was a small daily ritual that reminded her she could still take control, still choose energy, still choose youth, at any age. Because this isn't just coffee. It's a quiet promise you make to yourself each morning. That age does your habits do. So next time you lift that cup to your lips, think of it as your cup of youth. So there you have it. 4 simple drinks, 4 gentle ways to start your day. Each one fights inflammation, restores what time has taken, and brings your body back to life. One morning at a time. No expensive supplements, no complicated routines. Just real ingredients, real science, and a little consistency. Because healing doesn't always come in a pill bottle. Sometimes it starts with a warm cup in your hands, a few quiet minutes to breathe, and the decision to care for yourself before the world starts asking for your energy. These small choices, ginger and lemon, green tea with turmeric, Tart Cherry Juice, a cup of collagen coffee, they might seem simple, but over time, they stack up. They rebuild your joints, calm inflammation, and remind your body how to feel young again. After 50, you don't need to chase the fountain of youth. You just need to remember. The real fountain might already be sitting on your kitchen counter. It's in that glass of morning water, in that cup of coffee that you choose with intention. So tomorrow morning, when the light hits your kitchen, take that sip slowly. Feel it wake your body. Not with chemicals, but with care. And if this video inspired you, stay with me. Because in the next one, we'll talk about 3 bedtime drinks that help your joints recover while you sleep. Until then, subscribe, and share this with someone who deserves a pain-free, peaceful morning. Because sometimes, healing starts with something as simple as the way you begin your day.